Right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Showtime TV. I'm your host, Omar Rashada. Tonight is episode 8 with a conversation with men of color. And right now, joining me live on Zoom, Facebook Live is Corey Burke. Corey, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
All right,
Glad to
Corey.
be here with you tonight, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you. You have an extensive background. Let's, as I do in every episode, I just want to just give a brief synopsis of your background in terms of your educational background and your work background, as well as your family background. We'll start off with that.
Okay. Well, my work background, I have over 14 years of teaching experience, started from the Philadelphia Public School District, to also Cecil County, and now recently ended with Parkway Academy. I'm currently now at Howard High School of Technology.
Oh, okay.
You said as far as my
Education.
Education. I went to William Penn High School, class of '96.
All right.
Also had to take it on down to Dover and join the Hornet Nation, DSU. That's what you're looking at, a product.
All right, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Also got my master's degree from Newman College. And that's what I have so far.
Okay. And then what about your family? Because I know you've been happily married. You got some kids.
Happily married, man. Me and my wife. We've been married since '02. Got a lovely wife, Alicia Burke. That's the love of my life. God blessed us to have 3 beautiful children. My daughter Brianna, who just turned 17.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's real talk, brother. If I had a hairline, you know what I mean, all of them. My oldest son, CJ, I'm repping him right now. You see him?
Okay, yeah, I thought that was one of your sons.
It's my young king right there. So my oldest son, CJ, is 14, and then my baby boy, Jaden, is 9. So,
okay.
Yeah,
now going to Delaware State University. This is a HBU. And you probably was there with my sister, I believe.
That's right.
During that time here. So what was your experience going to an HBU?
I loved it. Absolutely loved it, man. That Delaware State University helped to change my life. Okay. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I wasn't the best student when I was at William Penn. And to be honest, I just was like just going through the motions. I just, I was one of them dudes that just kind of like, school was just a social thing for me. I wasn't applying myself like I needed to. And I was just, just settling for C's and settling for mediocrity. And I'll never forget, it was when we were starting to think about college, we had a college recruiter came to, not even a college recruiter. He was an Army recruiter that came to William Penn. And he sat down and looked at my grades, which was trash at the time. And he told me, look me dead, a brother too, told me I wasn't college material, man. Wasn't college material. So he said it would be to my best interest to go the route of the military. And no knock against anybody that is serving in the military, but I'm just glad that wasn't what God had in store for me. And it kind of basically ignited something within me, because I'm like, man, I'm not even really trying. I'm not. I can't really say I'm putting my best foot forward as far as school and whatnot. But that really kind of like got me. Hearing this dude telling me that you don't even know me, and you telling me that I'm not college material. So it just motivated me, man.
And he was a brother too.
He was a brother, man, wow, but it's all right, man. Sometimes every black man not your brother. It's sad, sad to say, but it just actually, he pushed me into my destiny, as our pastor often says. And I'm going to Delaware State University, man. I met some of the people. It's some people that I met at Del State that's still in my life today. Wow. And it is just, it's been a blessing, man. I was able to pledge the greatest fraternity known to man, the oldest, the boldest, and the coldest. Okay. Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, man. But it was, I learned so much stuff about myself, man, and I was able to grow and just mature into what you see, the man you see in front of you today, man.
Well, when we in high school, we may not take school as seriously, but when we go to college, we're more mature. Yeah, we're more responsible. Yes, sir. And then we look to exceed and get honor rolls, and we look to further education. So I think it's just a matter of persistence and applying ourselves. Because if you'd applied yourself in high school, like so many of us, you probably been an honor roll student as well. But life is about growth and development. So yes, sir. That's great. Now, you just mentioned that you joined a fraternity. There are so many different Omega and all the other ones. I don't know all of them, but my two-part question is, what made you choose the fraternity that you chose, and how has that made you a better man joining that fraternity?
You know what? I wish I had like this really deep answer for you to say why at first. You know what, the first thing that caught my eye about the bros was when I went to my first step show. Okay. They killed it. They killed it, man. And I just was like, wow, like I want to be a part of that. And that, I know it's terrible just to say that, but that was the first thing that just kind of like caught my eye. I don't come from a long line of Greeks and stuff like that. So that was like really my first really experience with that, and just to see how they was received, by the student body. I was just like, man, these brothers, they killing it out here, man. I want to be a part of that. And so, I was able to come in and introduce myself to one of the bros, man, and the rest is history, man.
Was this your freshman year, sophomore year?
Freshman year. Freshman year, man.
So you was with them all? You was with them for 4 years?
No. I pledged fall '99. Mm-hmm. Fall '99. Okay. So I got to Del State in '96. Okay. So yeah.
All right, that's cool. Now let's talk about your occupation. Because I know you work in the educational system. In yes. Howard High School, historically. When my parents went, my mom, when she graduated class in 1968, I mean, if you look at baby boomers, mm-hmm. It was either Howard High School, mm-hmm. P.S. DuPont High School, or Wilmington High. Those were primarily the high schools in the city of Wilmington. So, you talk about the HBU, those high schools represented, African Americans. So what is it like teaching at Howard Career Center? Historically, when it was Howard High School, it was historically Black high school. I'm quite sure Howard Career Center is probably more African Americans there than any other population.
Well, I'm not teaching. I'm more on the administration side. Okay, gotcha, as a PACE coordinator, parent and community coordinator. And the thing about it, engagement coordinator. And the thing about Howard that I love about it is the family. Like I came into the position once school had already started. And so coming from Parkway Academy to Howard, you got 900 students in there. And it was a little bit overwhelming at first, because it was like, wow, like I got to learn students. I got to learn staff. I'm in a new position. But the thing that I loved about it was how they just embraced me. Like the staff, the students, they just embraced me. We have some of the most remarkable, amazing students possible. And this is nothing but a gift from God that he gave to me, because in my position, all I'm trying to do is to promote our school and let people know the opportunities that we have at Howard. And I feel like if people give us a chance, because I know there's been talk about what happened in the past, but
Right.
I'm telling you, it is a brand new day at Howard High School of Technology. Let me tell you that. And I love it. I love it. And when I see this, and I'm not even going to joke. Oh man, when I say this, this let me know that I was in the right place. We were in the cafeteria, and some kid like dropped like a wrapper of something. You know what I'm saying? He was in the cafeteria, and one of the other kids, one of the upperclassmen at the time, nudged the young boy and was like, "Yo, come on, man, pick that up, man. That's not how we do it." And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, wow, like the immense pride that the students have. It's just like, yo, man, nah, we don't dirty up our campus here. And it truly is a campus. When you walk, when I feel like when I walk the halls of Howard, I feel like I'm walking in a small HBCU.
Oh
To
man,
be
that's
honest,
awesome.
man. And I have the pre-COVID, one of my responsibilities was to be able to take parents on tours of our school so that they could get an idea to see the kids in their career areas. And I'm telling you, man, it just blessed my heart just to see the parents, because parents might, if they were on the fence, all we had to do was get you in the building, because the building will sell itself. We just want to give us the opportunity so that we can blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? So we can let you know what we have here. And once they come in and see, they're like, wow, all right, where do I sign up? We get that application. I want my son or my daughter to be here and be a part of this.
Right. You know, one of the past episodes of A Conversation with Men of Color, we talked about African-American male teachers, and we all asked ourselves, how many African-American male teachers have we had during 12 years? And it's probably less than a handful. So at Howard University, are there any African-American male teachers there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the brothers that just comes out to my mind, just sticks out right off the bat, is a guy who's teaching our Academy of Finance, and there's a brother by the name of Jamai Robinson. Okay. This brother he's out of here, man. He's a gem. And the crazy thing is, when I would go to sit into his class, the nuggets that he's giving these kids are amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I just gotta tell you this one story, man.
Oh, sure.
He had he teach an Academy of Finance, right? We wanted to have a school store in our building. We didn't have a school store at that time. So what he did was he posed a challenge out to our juniors. And at that time, so this was last year. So he said, hey, let me hear your ideas. What do you guys want to bring to the table? And so the juniors, I guess either they might have just drugged their feet with it and didn't really hit it out the park like he thought they were. So he passed it off to some sophomores, right? These sophomores, first what they did was within themselves. These are high school students, sophomores, 10th graders, right? They created roles. So they had a president, a vice president. They had roles and responsibility in between this class of sophomores. And so what they were able to do with the help of Mr. Robinson was they reached out to Bank of America, which gave them some startup money for what we now call Wildcat merch. And so that's the name of the school store that they wanted to have. And it's all originated and run by students in this Academy of Finance. And every time when I would bring parents to come and see Howard, that was one of the first shops that I bring them to, because that man could be teaching a lesson. He could be teaching a lesson, right? Lecturing the students. And he doesn't have to stop. He doesn't have to stop teaching, because what he'll do, he'll have a student that he's already spoken to and say, hey, listen, anytime Mr. Burke comes and brings potential Wildcats to our school, they come and address them. And it is something about hearing it from the perspective of these 16, 17-year-olds telling another student coming in, because it's one thing for the 43-year-old man to tell this incoming freshman about, you know, what some of the responsibilities. It's like kids beget other kids, man. They can say it in a way that it just resonates with them. And it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. He has days where the kids come dressed professionally. I mean, some of these kids, that's one thing I miss about with us, with this COVID, and I'm not able to see all of them like we normally do, because man, I'd be in the beginning, in the front of the building where I'm greeting the kids. I mean, some of these kids come in, man, they dress to the nines, man, sharp.
That's
you know,
good.
because they
Start
gotta,
early.
I'm telling you, they got to do a presentation, or it's business professional day. So these youngins they were coming in there doing it, man. But like I said, Mr. Robinson, he's a gem. He's a gem, man. He's giving these kids nuggets that I would feel like in like some college level, you know, class, business class, man. So we are definitely blessed. That's one brother that just sticks out of my mind right now.
That's awesome. And staying with kids, there was a time, I don't know if you still do it or not, but you were mentoring young boys at your church. You had a youth group. If you could let the audience know, what was that group about, and are you still doing it?
Holy Soldiers from Ezon Fair Baptist Church, located on 1400 B Street, over in Southbridge, Wilmington, Delaware. Ezon Fair. And so Delaware's most exciting church. Pastor Curry is the pastor. There was a time when Pastor Curry first came to our church. Our young ladies, man, they were off the charts. It was so many things for them to do as far as in the worship, you know, and they were really busy in church, and we didn't really have anything for the young men to be a part of it. Like, how could they worship? They didn't, you know, if you either you could sing or you could praise dance, but we didn't have anything that was, you know, something that the young boys at the church you know, could gravitate and connect with. And so with my pastor, myself and a few other brothers at that time, we sat down and we just kind of like thinking about some things. And it's crazy, man, because at first, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't completely all the way on board with the way how he wanted to do it. I thought it was going to be something that, okay, we'll have a meeting, you know, every once in a while, and we just kind of like, you know, get up and for it to take on the shape that it took, man, it was nothing but God, man. And it's because I basically had to get out. I had to get out the way. I had to get my opinions and my feelings out the way, and let God use it, and let God mold it to what it needed to be. So basically what we did was we were able to kind of like make a young Christian fraternity or step team, if you will. And a lot of the steps that I learned online when I was pledging my fraternity, these were things that I was giving these young boys. We would just change up some words and stuff like that, so that way, you know, now instead of having them, you know, they weren't chanting, you know, alpha chants. Now we just kind of flipped some things, and now we got them chanting, you know, different scriptures, and they're strolling in to you know, Ty Tribbett and Kirk Franklin, and they're killing it, man. And so I mean, dude, we was going all throughout the tri-state area, man. We were taking these young boys, man, and it was just a blessing. And it's crazy that you know, now we have kids that was in it. I've seen these kids actually go to college. I got some members of the fraternity. I mean, I said the fraternity in the ministry that have now gone on to college. And I just like, wow, man, this is nothing but a blessing, man, that God, you know, trusted me to be in there, you know, and watch, you know, and be a part of that. It's just been a blessing, man.
Right. I want to stick with your church for a second.
Okay.
People often complain that, we as men, we've been doing this for a long time, that men, particularly African-American men, that don't go to church, but you've been a faithful member of Islam Fair for a very long time. So my two-part question is, what role does spirituality play in your life in terms of making you the humble individual that you are today? And then Pastor Kerry, I mean, he preached my mom's funeral, my grandma's funeral, and then I think maybe a couple of other family members' funeral.
Yeah.
What influence does he have towards you in terms of being a mentor, being your pastor, being a man of God?
Man, well, Pastor Curry, man, it goes without saying. He's definitely a major, influence in my life. A lot of the stuff I post, a lot of my mindset is from his teaching, and like I remember even with the fact that I do photography, I remember he would say stuff like this. He said, God gives us all a gift, and it's up to you what you do with that gift, how you can bless him back. And I remember he put like a challenge out to people, like, how you gonna use your gift to bless God. And I remember saying to myself, I was like, Dad, what could I do? What could I do? What could I do to kind of use a gift to bless God? So I had this camera, man. I had this camera, and I said, you know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start bringing the camera to church and just take pictures of the worship experience. And maybe somebody might see these pictures and see these images, and I'm just going to kind of give a recap of what I got from the sermon, and maybe it might bless somebody. And I'll never forget, right, I put it up there, and at the time somebody played. I put them up a few times, and somebody was like, yo, who you supposed to be, like TD Jakes or something like that? And I got discouraged, right? And I said, maybe I shouldn't put them up there, right? And then the following week, somebody was like, yo, man, why you ain't put the pictures up? Man, I was at work, and I've been looking forward to your posts and stuff like that, man. It kind of makes me feel like I'm connected. And I said, that was my confirmation, man. That was my confirmation. I just started, I went from there. I just went from there. And the thing about, what does it mean in my spirituality, man? It's everything, bro. It's everything. I wouldn't be anything without, my faith, man. It's everything. It's literally is everything. And why do we have it? You said something about, why do I think it's not enough men?
Right. Right. Well, I was just saying in general, people often say that we don't have like a lot of brothers in church. I mean, I've always heard that.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure you probably heard the same thing, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, man, I just think some of them, it might be the way we're trying to reach them. A lot of times you got to meet some of these brothers where they are, man.
Right.
I'm not saying we got to be beating them upside the head with scriptures and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to go out to and meet these brothers where they are, and you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised how many times that you could come out and say, hey, man, you kind of bring your ministry, or you're bringing your faith in after you establish a relationship, with a brother.
Right. All right. So put your foot on the gas. Don't pump the brakes. Big Key, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mahkeib Booker, he's founder of the Black Lives Matter movement here in
yes, sir.
City of Wilmington, Delaware. I guess you two brothers know each other, Corey and Mahkeib.
Definitely, I've definitely seen. I don't know if you know me personally, but I definitely seen him. I've definitely seen.
I definitely see your work.
Okay, Mahkeib. So just briefly, just talk about your the work that you do in the community, and as well as your family background.
Okay, man. This trying to really just bring unity in the community. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. You know what I mean? Bring back that level of respect and dignity and honor and moral values. Just trying to let it rub off on the youth today. You know what I mean? Because I believe brothers that's our age, you know what I mean, we already know what time it is. So I'm really trying to reach the youth, the older ones also, but trying to reach out to that youth, that youth population, because right now, I believe I always say it all the time. Oh, it's our generation that dropped the ball, because you know our fathers were some serious brothers. You know what I mean? They passed it on from the '60s movement. You know, when you had the Black Panthers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. You know, you had all these great leaders. You know, who was leading and guiding with moral values, and you could respect them. And they gave it to us. And I can say, you know, for myself, you know, dibbling, dabbling, and doing the things I was doing, I didn't stay on post and pass it down like I was supposed to. Now, spin it all the way around, you know what I mean, was from the last probably 2010, somewhere from there, I've been trying to give back, you know, that old love. And that's my whole thing, man, is trying to give back that old love.
Right. You know, so Big Keith, so many people know Big Keith, you know, for a long time, and you weren't always the person that you was today. You know, you tough, you know, you still a tough guy. And people never mess with Big Keith, but the mindset that you have today, you probably didn't have like some of the others, like maybe 20, 25 years ago. So at what point in your life did you decide that, hey man, I need to make a positive change in my life?
You know, oh, as you know, my sister was shot in 1996. That really pricked my heart to do something, but I still didn't move the way I was supposed to move. And I believe all of us here, you know, love Christ, you know, and Christ, you know, had a divine appointment in our lives. And in 1995, I got saved. You know what I mean? And that's when the real motor started turning. Then I lost my sister in 96. But I really wasn't able really to go back out into the community amongst my brothers because I was still weak. You know what I mean? To keep it 100, I was still smoking weed. I was still doing my 1-2. So I wasn't ready to go back out there full-fledged, because I would have, to me, and I always say me, I would have called myself a hypocrite. And that's something that I never wanted to ever be. So I didn't go right back out there in 96. So about 2002, 2003, the clock really started ticking for me to start doing community activism work, starting to feed people, starting to clothe people, starting a prison ministry, and just going out in the streets and just trying to each one, teach one, and reach one. Because what I did out there, and you know a little bit of how I used to carry myself, you know what I mean? If I could do that for the devil, I sure enough could spin that around, and with God, you know, on my side,
come on, brother, come on,
and my front, I know that I can definitely get something done, and that's the way it's been rolling ever since, man.
But you know, Keith, you know, you mentioned your sister Kayla, and she was a strong, positive sister as you are. You know, when your sister got murdered, the first thing I said to myself, I said, "Man, Keith's gonna tear somebody's head off." But you didn't look for revenge.
I just got chills going through my body, man. If you see my arms, you see goosebumps. Because the crazy thing was, it was divine, because when they knocked on my door at 11 o'clock at night, I'll never forget the sister named Yvette, and she said, "Your sister's been shot." Okay. Now, me and my crazy mind saying, well, she's been shot. We tough, we bookers, we gonna pull through. You know what I mean? She just got shot. I'm gonna go down here and she gonna be all right. So as I got down to Leroy's, and I looked, and the ambulance was just leaving, and everybody said, you know, Kay just been shot. And I was like, okay, I keep hearing this, but it's something in my mind is just not registering. Not my sister. You know what I mean? This can't happen. This don't happen to us, right? So we get in the car, we following behind the ambulance, and the car catches a flat. I'll never forget it. I was riding with Dan, so we had to jump in Nurk's car, Peebles brother's car, and then we rode out to the hospital. And they wouldn't let nobody. I said, yo, that's my sister. My mom wasn't there. And I got in the room and I began to pray. And it was a feeling that came over me like I never had before in my life. And so as I began to pray, my mom walked in the door and she said, son, get up off your knees. She's gone. Now the doctors ain't talked to my mom or nothing. And I'm like, Mom, you crazy. This is what we got to do. I'm on my knees. I got to pray. So as I began to pray, the Lord said, get up. I just kept hearing him say, get up, get up. So I got up and I stood up and I looked around. I said, this ain't real, because I wasn't feeling no type of way. Oh, I wasn't feeling like, oh, let me cry. Oh, let me go do this. Oh, I just felt like a peace come upon me, man.
Come on.
And I said, yo, this thing is real, right? So then the doc, before my mom got there, before my mom got there, the doc came in the room and he said, is your sister, it was a woman, she said, is your sister an organ donor? I said, no. I said, but if, I said, she's not, but if so, make her one, right? So I'm not even really thinking, I'm just thinking like, make her organ donor. I'm not even really, I'm serious, man. I don't even understand this, right? So then my mom comes in and my mom says, get up, don't stop praying. I get up, I stand up and everything. And then the doc comes in there and he says, she's gone. And I'm like, why ain't I snapping? Why ain't I crying? Why? I'm asking myself this. I'm like, I was getting cussed, man. Is this a movie? Is this a movie? Am I in a role of a movie? And they said, do you want to come in and see her? And I said, nah. So we got in the car, we went home, and I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. I came down the stairs. Everybody's waiting for me. Oh, they think I'm going gorilla snap. Everybody's, I'm like, why everybody think I'm a snap? Everybody thinks I'm going to snap. I'm like, I'm chill, I'm cool. And then it hit me and I fainted.
Wow.
I woke up and I seen everybody standing around me. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And I'm like, what did y'all stand over top of me for? They said, you fainted. It just hit me. But the thing what it was the Holy Spirit.
Come on in here.
Kept me. And see, when I go out in the streets, man, I don't know if y'all listen to me or not, but a lot of it is a revolutionary gospel. That's what it is. I'm giving them the word of God, but it's not, such and such and such and such, because I paraphrase a lot and I use a lot of ebonics. But if you listen close to, it's the word of God, because I know if it kept me, it could keep anybody.
Come on, bro.
Right. Let's talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. That's one of the things about the movement that you've done here in the city of Wilmington is you kept it consistent. It wasn't just a one-time thing. I mean, you've been doing it on a regular basis. I see you on Facebook. I never know when she has her marches. Minister Margaret Guy. I mean, she's been having marches pretty much, I believe, like every Sunday, just about. As I see you out there along with others. Talking about the significance of you organizing as well as participating in protest marches.
Well, see, like I always say, a lot of times people think that it has to be dominant in numbers. But Jesus took 12 and he turned the world upside down. I always say it was 11 because one had to bounce, and that was Judas. But when you look at the ant is a small insect, but it carries 5,000 times its own weight. And that's how it is with us, because when the Bible says Jesus will leave the 99 and go for the one, because he knows within that one is a nation and it can carry 5,000 times its own weight.
Come on.
When we go out in those streets and we begin to share the gospel, and I begin to converse with the brothers, because I believe in mixing Gil Scott, Stevie Wonder, Frankie Beverly in my message also. As you begin to come out there and relate with them, that word permeates into their soul, into their spirit. And see, a lot of people don't know, the last time that we did the prayer chain, 3 people got saved, right? But when I look at that one, like I just said, that one carries 5,000 and it carries a seed. And the Bible promises your children's children's children.
That's right. That's right.
So now I'm looking at this brother or sister going home and sharing the gospel with his family. Now his family falls under his umbrella until they can get it right. And 9 times out of 10, once that word takes root, it's got to grow. And then once that family grows, then it goes out into the community. They might start feeding, they might start clothing, like I was giving away bread. The brother said, why are you giving away bread? You don't have to do that. I'm saying, it's free to a cost. I said, it's free. Don't cost you nothing. So now he's wondering in his mind, why is this brother doing this? What is in it? So they start watching me. And then they see, that's why I always tell you, oh, I can't be a hypocrite. That's why I ride this thing 100, because people are watching me.
There you go.
They're watching the church also, but I can't be like the church, because even Jesus said, do as they say, don't do what they do. Don't just be a hearer, be a doer. So I tried to, let these brothers and sisters see what I'm doing in the street, because that's how I grab them. I'm actually fishing, and they don't even know it, because the Bible says he that winneth souls is wise.
That's right.
So I always say I'm a wise man, and they probably say, well, you don't got our wisdom and information like man, but see, God's revelation trumps man's information all day long. Ooh. That's why I use the supernatural word of God. And people don't know this has been my success. Like, people think that I come with the rah-rah, oh, he's coming, oh, he don't like the police, he don't like that. Nah, I told him the other day, I was over East Side, I said, listen, man, I usually go uptown with a rod of iron, and I come down here with a branch that grandma broke off the tree. I said, but since y'all jokers is acting up, I said, I gotta bring the rod of iron down on y'all, because but how I'm doing it is out of tough love, because I love y'all. Like I told them, every time you come see me come out here, my life is not exempt. You see what I'm saying? I'm not exempt from the bullets. You see what I'm saying? I'm sacrificing. I'm showing you that I love you. So I'm telling you this, I'm showing you this, so therefore it has to catch a fire. One brother walked up to me and was like, yo, man, what's going on? How y'all doing? I want to join. He don't even know what we're doing. He just seen watching it from afar. So that's why I say that it's effective. And most people think it ain't. Even the mayor said praying and marching ain't gonna work. But you forgot that it was brought from the spiritual into the natural. God spoke, and then it was. And see, we got the power of life and death in our tongues. So I believe in speaking positive, powerful words. And then they got to see a brother who ain't feminized, who ain't watering down the gospel, ain't trying to preach for filthy lucre, ain't trying to come at you for no dough. So they have to see somebody like me. You know what I mean? And that's why I stay prevalent in my community, man. Because I refuse to let them jokers, and I gotta say it, man, these false preachers with fake watered down doctrine create our narrative. That's why I called their march our narrative, because it has to be the Bible says, man, and because y'all got me with this Bible stuff, man, I can't let it go. The Bible says your tongue is like a pen, a ready writer. So as I begin to speak, and this is how I narrate. You see what I'm saying? This is how I change the brothers in the streets' mind from, oh, them church jokers, they weak and whatever. Yeah. Who told you Jesus was weak? Who told you? Come on. That's a lie. Who told you he was white? Who told you this? See, these are the things that are blocking our brothers from taking that plunge into that water or the spiritual fire of the baptism. Because they are looking at the outward appearance and seeing what people say and seeing fake hypocrites come along. Saying, I don't want no parts of that. So it's my job. I'm duty bound. To walk like the streets in integrity. And see, that's why a lot of jokers don't like me too, man, because there's no compromising the gospel with me, man. It's a lot of wiki-wash, watered down stuff, and it irks me. But God is giving me the righteous indignation to keep it moving and to bring light to it. So I expect the church world and the political world to shun me. But I believe that Jesus went to the streets. He pushed out. He said, "Go sin no more." You know what I mean? He went to the weed smoker, the crack dealer.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He went to all those people, and that's where he got love. That's why I got love in the streets, when most of them preachers can't even come to the streets. Politicians can't even come to the streets. And I got a little bit off track, man. I don't want to take up too much time.
It's good.
You know me all, sometimes I just go over left field somewhere.
Speaking from the heart, but the thing that's very crucial about Minister Guy's protest, Corey, is that a lot of times there was a shooting in Philadelphia last night. 27-year-old gentleman got killed. He had mental health issues, and then they're protesting in Philadelphia now. But a lot of people say, in the Black community, y'all protest and march when it's police shooting blacks, when it was blacks hurting blacks. Y'all don't protest and march. But Mr. Guy, I mean, she's right there to the brothers. Y'all got to stop this. She ain't talking to the police officers. She's talking to the brothers. Yeah. So, Corey, I want to ask you, man, unfortunately, we've been killing and hurting one another for a long time, man. And people always ask, what's the solution? So if a man of God, such as yourself, a mentor, a father, what would you say is at least something that can at least reduce the amount of crime that commits, brothers, shooting brothers? What is your solution? what do you think can help slow this down or even stop it altogether?
Hey man, listen, I'm just over here. I'm just over here getting blessed by my brother Booker over there.
Right.
I'm gonna go with back to that word that said, if my people will call by my name, will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then, you know what I'm saying? If God will heal our land. The thing is, we can't do this without the Most High. We can't do this without Jesus. You mentioned the brother in Philly last night. That troubled me. Because I'm like, what are we to make of this?
Right.
I see my people, you know, I didn't know the brother until that he had special needs. I wish I saw that I saw the videos and stuff like that. But I wish that I wish somebody would have been able to get with that brother to kind of corral him, because it's like once you got the police involved, it's like we don't get a big window of patience for some reason. I know they scared of us, right? Mm-hmm. This man wielding this knife, but then I've heard reports that if it was a white man, would they have been so quick to just shoot? This one makes me raise an eyebrow. I don't really know what to take from this. Right. And that's why I gotta keep staying on my knees. I gotta keep going before the Lord, because he wouldn't allow this thing to happen if glory isn't going to come out of it. I don't have to understand. It's not my job to understand what he's allowing to happen. I just gotta trust. I gotta trust that God knows what he's doing. And my thing is, man, I'm just going to continue. I'm glad my brother said he want to be he's a beacon. He's not trying to water down that word. He's trying to walk it out in integrity. If more of us could do that, you could change mindsets, you could change hearts, man. Because we need to get to that point where it's enough of us start saying, you know what, all right, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Enough is enough. And we start loving each other. We stop. We think before. You won't go to pick up a gun, man. We be quick, slow to take offense, but always ready for a reconciliation. And that's not always the case. That's not always the case sometimes, man.
Right. Big keep, one of the things, staying on police officers, I've watched the protests downtown Wilmington. One of the things that I saw for the first time is that I saw officers take a knee and pray with the protesters. So Keith, when you see that, what goes through your mind?
When I see officers take a knee, it lets me know that there's still some good officers out there, and that that some officers care. But I want to go a little bit back to that brother that was shot, that was 27 years old in Philadelphia.
Right.
See, I've been telling Mayor Mike Brzezicki, and I've been telling Chief Tracy, but they would never listen to me about the community activists, us policing ourselves. And if you look at the Black Panther Party and a lot of brothers that come out of Detroit and Chicago, they police themselves. Now, when you have certain police officers working with the community activists, that eliminates them not knowing that this brother had a mental issue. See what I'm saying? So as you have community police who know the community, they automatically know that this brother has a mental problem. They know Mrs. Vi's son has a mental problem. They know Mr. Charlie's son over there, he likes to drink. They know whatchamacallem over there likes to cuss you out, but he ain't gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight. I don't care how violent he looks or how he gets, he's not gonna do nothing. We know that. But then we know who's gonna do something too. So the thing about it is, when you don't have that level of that bridge with the police and the community activists,
Right.
then you have these type of events happening all the time, and they could be quelled down by allowing us to police ourselves, even though we're not at that position yet. I'm not even going to front to say, because we can't even really get out here to the prayer chains and some of the marches I've been doing, the curb the violence. First, we have to get to the unity part. But then after we get to the unity part, then we need to bring certain things that we want to see done in our community to the police. Like, listen, man, this is what we, this is what we want, this is what we demand, and we ain't moving until y'all adhere to this. Until we get to that point as brothers amongst ourselves, the police are going to be an outside invading force, just like they was with that brother. They're going to come guns a-blazing because they don't know our culture, they don't love our culture, they don't want to know our culture because they don't love us, period. So you have to get to the point where, though, you have to man up against the police. That's why you see me going against a lot of police. So it's not the fact that I don't need police, because I need police. When you break in my house, when you bust my window, whatever, we need them. But the thing about it is, we have to stand up as men and women in our community and start demanding things from our police, so we can get policing done ourselves, because we can police ourselves with the help of the police. I said it once before. I said, all we need is a cruiser to ride around in the neighborhood, let the community activists police ourselves, and we can work with certain individuals who got problems. Like you say, listen, brother, you're going to hustle over here. Now, when Ms. Vi come out, you're going to put that away. You see them kids walking down the street, you're not going to smoke no blunts. Because if you keep doing that right there, then we're going to have to deal with Officer Charlie. You understand what I'm saying? Because the stuff is going to go in their hood, but we got to bring back that level of respect. Remember, grandma used to come out the house and everybody would say, tuck the pack. Miss Maddie over there, don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? And that police will bring that presence back, because we don't have Miss Maddie's them no more. But you got the community activists, that's us, that dropped the ball, who knows about Miss Maddie and them and that level of respect. We pass it on to the next generation. We also use the police to help us to police our own community. Y'all stand back, we got this. You know what I mean? And that has to be brought back into our community, back into the villages, I see.
Well, speaking of the village, I asked this question in one of the past episodes. I said, what happened to the village? You used to know your neighbors, you leave the doors open. Everybody knew everybody. If you was from Riverside represented, North Side represented, West Side represented, East Side represented. It was a community, man. I'm not sure. Like, I guess a lot of people, they moved out to the community once they got good jobs and a good education. That's what some may believe. But I don't know. I may be wrong. But what happened to the village?
Man, let me tell you what happened to the village, brother. The systemic racial system, the political systemic racial system, the legislators that push the pens, the sellout Negroes, I'm gonna say Uncle Tom, the Sambo brothers that was in our community that was supposed to be our leaders, allowed this stuff to happen. Because when you look at our village, right, and you say, wow, it used to be neighborly. We used to wave to people. We used to cut the grapes or help the groceries into to somebody's house without knocking them upside the head, trying to rob or steal no change of their purse, right? So you have to look at all the tactics, and I gotta say it because it is what it is, man. That the white man used. Now I know it's the enemy that works behind the whole scenes, but he uses the white man against the black man against the white man. So when I say white man, I don't mean to be offensive, but I do mean to tell the truth, right? So you look at the systemic people who have been governing us, who've taken out no man could be in the house at welfare and check the closets and the shoes and stuff, right? Then you can't whoop the kids over here, this and that, right? Then you got, I hate to say it, my man Joe Biden, who came up with the truth in sentencing law that 5 grams of crack got you 3 years automatically in prison. No good time, no, you can get off, nothing. It was just, it is what it is. Mass incarceration. Then you got the busing that took place in our school system. Then you had the teachers that was drawn out of us. Because remember, the teachers used to bust your butt, take you home, and they'd bust your butt. And you might see the teacher in the grocery store with your mom, and like, oh, she gonna tell her? She might not tell her, she might tell her. You're hoping she don't. But those were the type of things that went on that brought that level of respect in our community. And it was genocide by design. Even when you look at Riverside, they knocked down Riverside, they knocked down South Ridge, they're knocking down all the houses in the city. You got 1,500 vacant houses in the city right now, in the city, vacant houses that could be homes, right? And I always say, if you had the officers that lived in those homes, those teachers that lived in those homes, the people that worked in those homes, the property value would go up because, let me tell you why, because when you own something, you're going to make sure that the trash is swept in front of your house. You're not going to let your children lean up against the rail on the house because they're going to break the rail. You're not going to let them slam the door because you own that door. You're not going to let them flush all that stuff down the toilet because now you got to call the plumber in. So now when you take all these things away from us, and now we're renters instead of owners, we don't own nothing. We don't care about nothing. But it's deeper than that. But that's just my little spill on it. And of course, I can go all night about this. But when you remove certain things out the community and they start taking them out, just look at we had the Trojans, we had the basketball, we had the football. You could go to the certain people in the stores that say, yo, we need 100 jerseys. They will get the jerseys for us. You know, they might be little iron-on joints, but that's what we had. We had basketball teams. We had cheerleaders. We had steppers over the East Side when I was over there. My mom was one of the original people that started the East Side Steppers, and then the other people took over. So when you have these type of things being removed from us like that, then you're going to get what you get out there.
And don't forget they closed Jackson Street Boys Club as well.
They closed Jackson Street Boy, and I ain't even gonna say one of the politicians who had it shut down, who always come around here and act like he our black brother, but you know he's this right here, he's this color right here. But when he come around, everybody's shaking his hand like he's invited to the cookout. But that was one of the main politicians that got Jackson Street Boys Club shut down. The same joker that didn't want you swimming over there in Canby pool over there, they got that shut down. Talking about they was breaking into cars, stealing their systems and everything like that. Most of y'all know, right, that white people do not buy plug-in systems. We buy plug-in systems. We buy JVCs and woofers and all that stuff. So when they were saying they was breaking in their cars, stealing their systems, that was a lie. You can't steal a factory system. Nobody wants a factory system, right? So they use those type of words to kindly shut down Canby Park. You see what I'm saying? Because they really didn't want no black people over there anyway. See, when you go over into Brown Town, I don't know why they call it Brown Town. It should be called White Town because most of the stuff that come over there, they don't want nothing brown over there. But now it's starting to be integrated like that, but it's still that old mentality that votes over there because young people don't really vote. That's why it's still certain individuals that's placed on the city council board like that. But I can go on about that.
So Corey, you have anything to say about the village?
And shoot, he said he said it. I'm also going to say this, too, the fact that when he's talked about them resources, man, I can't speak enough of that, man. When he talked about not being able to own something, it hits different, man. I also feel as though when I used to work at Parkway Academy, I wished there was a time, right, that, and I get it, every young person might not have a father in their life. Maybe they don't have but hopefully they have a father figure, in their life. Sometimes it seemed like some of these kids, and I'm just speaking from our men, our young boys, they just had somebody that was just checking on them, man. I used to have young bulls that, nobody was checking them. Nobody could. They could be out ridiculous times of the night, just kind of like, you a middle school kid, and I'm talking about, you out 4 o'clock in the morning just doing whatever you want to do. Nobody checking them. These kids just kind of like go, they just kind of like matriculating through life. It's like you are like an old young person. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, it's a lot of them had the same kind of story because they would come into school. They was lacking skills as far as reading and math and stuff like that. So then now I don't want to participate in school because now I get made to be this big. You know what I'm saying? So now I want to get away from school. I want to try to everything that is school. I'm trying to get away from it. You know what I mean? And it seemed like a lot of times, you know, those parents, those kids, we had the hardest time trying to get in contact with parents. You know what I mean? And it was just you could almost kind of like see them. They would go. They would kind of like just like graduate and get progressively worse. You know what I mean? Now they, you know, before they used to be cussing the teacher out. Now all of a sudden, you know, now they out here starting to dibble and stealing cars, and now they starting to, you know, smoking and all this other extra little dumb stuff that over time, man, it's going to help somebody to lead them down the wrong path. But you know, I just kind of wish that we need brothers like you see on this screen. You know what I'm saying? That are able to have some influence on these young people. You know what I mean? To speak a word to them. And I love how when he said, yo, sometimes I might speak it in Ebonics. Listen, you relating. You know what I mean? You giving them some word that they can relate, and it's got to be applicable, and you reaching them. So I say keep doing it, man. And you know, if we have more of that, imagine if we all be fishers of men and have more of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then you could reach out to some of these kids, because they're gonna be what's taking us into the future. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, next Tuesday is a big day, November the 3rd, election day. Ice Cube, hip hop artist, actor, activist, has a plan that he wants to present to whomever is the winner of the presidential race between Mr. Joe Biden and Mr. Donald Trump. Corey, do you think that it's a good idea to have a plan for Black folks in America with the things that we're going through?
Absolutely. You know, he who fails to plan plans to fail, and I definitely think if you don't have it's definitely a great idea to bring you know, our people to the table. You know, we just don't want it. We don't want it to be no hidden agenda. You know, so you know, we don't want anything like that. But I don't think there's anything wrong. You know, having our people to be able to be a priority, so that we can you know, we need resources. We need to be on the agenda, because we matter. And you know, I don't think it's anything wrong with that at all.
All right, and Big Keith, I want to go to you, Big Keith, because also in 4 years you're planning to run for state rep, and it was the second or third.
2 years. I'm planning to run.
2 years. Oh, yes, right, 2 years. Yeah.
Okay.
2 years. I was going to wait for the 4 years. I might run again. I don't want to say lose, because I'm planning on winning.
Yes, sir.
But in 2 years, I am going to run for state rep in the 2nd district. And one of my biggest pushes is going to be to revitalize East Side and bring the love back, and to reclaim it and to rename it Little Africa. Just like they have Little Italy over on the west side, let's bring some pride back on the east side. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
But
I like that.
When you look at Brother Ice Cube, see, one thing about Black people, we're neither Democrat or Republican when you look at it, because we're Democrat now by almost flaw. They don't even take us serious. They don't even offer a Black agenda. That's why I'm running on a Black agenda. It's going to be a Black agenda unapologetically. I'm not going to mince the words with the minority in this. Nah, what can I get from my people? And that's how Ice Cube approached Trump. You know what I'm saying? Biden, both of them reached out to him or whatever, however the situation went, but it was Trump's team that talked to him. And Ice Cube had to come back and straighten it out with everybody, saying, listen, man, I'm neither the jackass or the elephant. I'm about my people. We're independent. And that's how I'm thinking. It's about who's going to help my people at the end of the day. I don't care, because all of them are going to promise. Everybody's going to say they're going to do this and that. And as you even looked at it, President Obama didn't really do a Black agenda. He did things for Black people, but it wasn't specific as it was for the LGBTQ community, as it was for the immigrant community. You know, so you have to get specific. And then I applaud Brother Ice Cube because he has a plan written out, and he's presenting and showing people like, yo, man, this is my plan. What's happening? And whoever can give him the most out of it, because he know he gonna get it all. Because the brother said some things, you know what I mean? I believe it's a little rough too in it, but I applaud him for it. And I will push the whole agenda, but I know that, you know, they're gonna pump the brakes on some of this stuff. But I absolutely applaud Brother Ice Cube for standing up, having the plan.
Yeah.
And I don't care what one gives him it. And I don't care if it's Trump, because 9 times out of 10, Trump gonna win again. Because whatever white America wants, white America gets. We can sugarcoat it and say we voting and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the college electoral vote runs the whole show. They talking about Georgia, Florida, Michigan, and maybe somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So they not even talking about us. They talking about the battleground states and all this stuff. So why are we even voting? You understand what I'm saying? Because really, it's not even really mattering. If you're going to boil it down, let's just say all other states sit down. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Let's go to Michigan. Let's go to Florida. Let's go to Georgia to see who the president is. That's what they might as well tell us. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I always say, man, you know, and I hate to say it like this, but when you look into a big election, our votes really don't matter. That's why I said you got to start at the local election. You got to start at the council, at the civic association, at the state rep. You know what I mean? At the mayor. And then you got to try to push the governor, because even, you know, you see in Delaware, have we ever had a black governor?
Nope.
But guess what? A lot of people don't know that the black man is the one that elects the governor, because if it wasn't for the black vote, it would be 2 grumpy old white men fighting about who's going to, the liberal and the conservative, who's going to be. So the Democrats say, man, we got y'all jokers whooped in Delaware because we got the Democratic black vote. We don't even have to offer them nothing, give them nothing, promise them nothing. They're going to vote. I'm telling you, I talk to brothers, they go straight down the left side, check, 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 right, Democrat. Right. They got our vote in their back pocket, and that's why they don't do nothing for us. That's why Q went to Brother Trump.
I will say this, though. I will say this, man. Vote.
Oh yeah, you gotta vote.
It's people got some of my people got beat upside their head, you know, for the right for us to go and vote, man. And I say vote. You know what I mean? I love you to death. Matter of fact, I love you to life, Brother Booker. But I gotta say, you know, I don't want people to think that like, oh, my vote don't count. I'm gonna just stay at the crib. Nah, man, vote, man. Yeah, we gotta get Agent Orange up out of there.
Yeah,
and you know, if
the first time I actually voted was in 2008.
Obama.
President Barack Obama. I got a chance to bring my brother into the seat. That was the first time I ever voted. In 2008, what was I in? 38 or something? I think I was 38. I was 38 years old when I was first able to vote, because the systemic racial system took away my voting rights, took away my rights to bear arms, took away, and I'm like, why do they go after my voting right? And why do they go after my bear arms? Because they know when a black man can bear arms and he got his head on straight, he's very powerful. And then they know when he can vote, he's very powerful.
That's right.
So what they do is they, if you look at the prison rate, Lord have mercy, the mass incarceration, I think the black man is 13% in the United States of America, but we're over 60% that's incarcerated. All of those are votes. If you let all the brothers out of jail, they don't even stand a chance in the game. Right. See, so they know that they must clip these young brothers up before they even get hip to the game. That's what I be trying to tell these brothers when I go out in the streets. I'm like, listen, brother, red line, black codes, Jim Crow, slavery, Uncle Sambo, Uncle Tom, all these type of games that they're playing against you before you even wake up. You see what I'm saying? And I know that gospel going to spark them, because that's what I do, man. And Bob Marley said, one man walk with a billion man spark. So that's what I try to do. I try to spark these young brothers, man, and get them in line, because these are the things that I lunched on. I was there. I could have voted. I could have did everything, but then I got clipped up with a charge, got caught up, couldn't vote. That's what they knew they was doing, because they knew that it was a powerful voice inside me. The devil knows. He studies you. He said, listen, let me clip Brother Booker up, because if this joker ever wake up
If he ever get it together.
Ever get it together.
Ooh.
And so that's what I'm trying to tell these brothers, because it's doctors, it's lawyers, it's NBA, it's NFL, it's so much potential. Man, you'd be surprised. Some of these brothers is out here as chemists, man.
I believe
these brothers are so smart. I seen brothers, just take Brother Daryl Chambers, for instance. Wolfie. I watch Wolf hustle. I watch Wolf get high. I watched Wolf drop out of high school. Some people wrote him off. You see what I'm saying? But now this brother is Dr. Chambers down at the University of Delaware.
So spoke life into him.
You see what I'm saying? So these are the type of messages I'm trying to get out to these young brothers, man. I know I went off track.
Well, voting is part one, but part two is holding them accountable. You go to these meetings, make these phone calls, and knock on their doors, and the officers say, "Hey, man, we need this, that, and the other." Like Big Keith said, listen, they take our vote for granted. So we got to stay on them once they're in office. Because every 4 years they come knocking on our doors, and they become special programs.
Coming to your church.
Yeah, and I see when the Big Keith was having his protest marches, I see a couple of them protesting, demonstrating. But look here, but this is what Jeremy McDowell's sister said. Is y'all here, y'all talking this, that, and the other, but y'all gotta be with us 365 days a week. And I love when she said that, because that's so true.
Yeah. I told him one time too. I said, at the end of the day, I said, us as black folks, we gonna go home, and then y'all gonna go on to your whole Okie-dory life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm black all the time. This ain't blue lives.
Come on.
Say blue lives, man. There ain't no such thing as blue lives. It's a blue uniform.
That's right.
It's a nice uniform.
That's
but
right.
at the end of the day, you can hang that blue uniform up, and you can take your political stuff and hang it up. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be black, man.
Still gonna be black.
365 days of the year. And that's why I'm running for office too, man, because I believe in walking the bricks, streets. So I'm not going to be a politician that you say, oh man, here he come for the votes again. Nah, I'm going to be right there in the mix with you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you already, if anybody Google my name, and I don't say this for that, I say because God allowed me to do it, but just Google my name and see the things that I've done over the course of time, man. And that's my lifestyle. So I live, eat, breathe this every day. So this ain't always running for office, because I'm not a politician. I'm the black Donald Trump. Trump was not a politician, neither. That's why I speak how I want to speak. They told me, go see the Black Caucus. Go see the Black Caucus for what? They don't like me. Go see what them come over there for what? They don't like me. They don't want to hear the truth. So if you're going to compromise the truth as a preacher, why should I go over there and let you consult me when you watering down the gospel? And I know you're watering it down because I read my Bible. And you know the Bible because y'all been to theological schools and seminaries and all this kind of stuff. So, man, listen, let me stop it.
Hey, Big Keith, so what's the update? I know I read where you were trying to get the People Settlement building for the Black Lives Matter organization. Is there any update with that? Any progress?
I don't mean to laugh. Oh, but man, that whole joint was ludicrous, brother. Let me tell you, man, them boys over there in People Settlement, they got an old board up there, man. Them old stogies, man. Them jokers don't want to get out the way. I'm going to say it just like that, man. The old stogies don't want to get out the way and pass it off to the youth and let the youth, just like the one sister said, I don't want you coming over there with the Black Lives Matter stuff. First of all, you don't even know me. Okay, so I understand that. So you think it's just rah-rah with the police, but like I said, you got to Google me to understand me. But she was saying something about Lede Cool Shoes. I said, man, if Cool Shoes get that, I'm backing out of it. You won't even hear peep from me because his work is already out there. Right. How you gonna fight Brother Cools on something? Nah, I gotta get behind Brother Cools and push it. Because his agenda is different from, it's the same, it's different, but it's also the same because it's out of the love of our people. And if I see that his stage is bigger than mine, why would I try to compete with somebody who I know is already putting in more work than I ever put in with the youth, right? That's like Brother Corey's putting in work with the youth. I'm not going to try to overstep his bounds. I'm going to get behind his brother and I'm going to push him. Right. And see what People Settlement is. It's a building that's not sitting dormant because it's a few things in there. But if you look at the bushes and the hedges, I grew up there with Brother Chico, with the older lady in there teaching us. My pop taught martial arts in there. I went in there for tutoring, working on the first computer I ever sat down and read cat, act, sit, net, am, and all them kinds of things. That was the programs is out there for tutoring. And just think about how Brother Corey could go over there, or myself, and could take away with brother one-on-one and break them down, even if it took me to go out back and pick up popsicle sticks and say, how many popsicle sticks I got? 4. I take away 2, how many I got? 2. If I got to teach that brother off to the side how to do his math, he gonna get his math, because that's the type of mind and the love that we have, man. So we need to be in those buildings, man. Them jokers need to get out the way, man. You old. You had your run, you had your spill. I'm 50, I'm getting older. I gotta soon pass it off to somebody else. So that's what makes me mad about the people settlement building, because you got to get out the way, man. You got to know you got a certain time and you got to run it as much as you can. Then you got to pass. So it's a baton. Cool Shoes is younger than me. I got to pass it to him. He got to go on and run. Then he got to pass it to somebody else. We can't sit on the gift God gave us, man, and then just let's. Oh man, I'm done now.
Okay, I want to ask this question that I asked on every episode. Both of you gentlemen are fathers. I want to start off with Corey. What is the joy of being a father for you?
Oh man, being a father is probably one of the best gifts that God could have ever, other than being a husband, to create life outside of your own. It's a joy, man, because and I don't take that lightly, man. I do not take that lightly, because I with God putting me in the school system, I've had so many students that look up to me as a father figure, and it's just like that's just it's hard to put in words, man. It's when I sit and I think about the man that my dad is, you know what I'm saying, Robert William Burke, the fact of how he lived his life, I always view him as my role model. I always say, if I could be half the man that he is, I'd be all right, you know, just being half a man. I would always wanted to be able to give some nuggets or some gems or pour life into somebody else. And the fact that, you know, God has allowed me, I have 3 children of my own, but I always say my students, they like my kids too, man, because once my student, always my student, man. And the fact that, you know, the time that I had being able to teach over at Parkway for 7 years, man, I got some students, man, that I look to like sons, man, and daughters. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to be called a father and to be viewed as a father or a father figure.
Okay, Big Key.
Yeah, man, just like Brother Corey said about his pop, man. I always said, man, if I could be half the man that my dad was, and I do believe that I came up short a little bit, but you couldn't tell my kids that because they never really knew him like that.
Yeah.
But having children, it's hard to explain, as Brother Corey said, because one thing I can say that sticks out to me is loving something more than myself.
Yeah.
Loving something more than myself, man. When I'm telling you, man, when I'm with my kids, I might be teddy bear, but I'm a gorilla down inside. I'm ready to kill everything in sight. And I might be laughing and cheesing and eating and drinking with them and we joking. But you can best believe Papa Bear is down inside. The grizzly is waiting.
That's right.
The gorilla is like, yo, I'm on point. And it's almost like well, it's not almost like it is like being a mom, because a mom, you know, a mother hen protects her brood, just like the pop, man. And like a lot of my kids, I got 5. Most of them grew up with me and not really their mother. Not that they were separated from their mother, but they spent more time with me than they did with their mothers, because it's my pop magnetism that I try to emulate, you know, in their lives.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you ask some of my kids, not all of them, because some of them, if you ask my kids, man, they would say I'm the best pop in the world.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I have to cry because I'm saying, oh, I'm still falling short. Y'all just don't know I could be doing so much better. And sometimes I go away and I cry because I know the life that they have to go out into this cold, cruel world, and I'm not there to defend them every minute, every second, every hour, because I'm very overprotective of minds. But just that love, man, to love somebody more than you love yourself.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
telling you, man, and I want my kids, I want so much better for them. And most of my kids have, not most of them, all my kids have done better than me. And I'm so proud of that. And it makes me smile, makes me happy. My daughter was graduating. All I do is cry because I never graduated. I might have got a GED, but I never walked across that stage.
Right.
And
Wow.
to see my kids walk across that stage, I
Come on.
walked across that stage. You
That's right.
understand what I'm saying?
That's
Because
right.
I produced that. God produced it, but he gave them to me. But I'm saying I was a part of that.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I mean? And being a pop is no better feeling in this world. You hear
I
me?
agree.
That's the best. You see me out here fighting for people in the streets. So you know I'm gonna go 100 for my children.
That's
Man, I'm
right.
going 1,000. My foot is on the gas. I ain't never pumping the brakes. Please don't do nothing to mine, because you know how some of them people got on them memes emoji for mines. You know I will, or whatever them women be saying on there. Yo, they be, yo, I'm so serious. Please, please, I beg the whole world, please do not mess. I had a joker, oh, in Wilmington High School, kicking over my daughter's head. I'm on the phone getting ready to go to the gym. Because I tell my daughter, I said, don't call the teachers, call Papa, right? So I'm on the phone like, yeah, you know, because whenever my kids call me, first thing I say is, what's wrong? Something was wrong this time. I said, Dad, this dude in here, he know karate kicking all over my head, and I hear him in the background. I said, what? I said, what? I went straight to the school. I tried to go through the doors. The state troopers and everybody was there. Oh, I was crying. They said, what's this grown man crying for? Because I want to kill this. You know what I'm trying to tell you?
Right.
So they said, yo, do you want to talk to him? I said, no, I want to go in the gymnasium with him. I don't want to go on there. You know, because brother, you think you know martial arts. Let me show you something. Because you never raise your foot as a woman, and you never raise your foot at my child. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just that love, man. And then I got to go through this for the rest of my life. Lord have mercy. My children out in this world,
Yeah.
pray for me.
That's
Pray
right.
for me.
It's like
Pray
no
for me.
problems. Okay, gentlemen, we're about to close the show. So I know, Corey, you have photography business. How can people contact you in terms of your number, your email, your website, or whatever information you want to get?
Definitely CB photography, man. Definitely I'm working on a website. I don't have a website yet, but you could definitely hit me on my Facebook. Definitely inbox me. It's definitely not too late to do a photo shoot with your boy. And like I said, I'm definitely it's been a blessing to see. I love when people will do, you know, it's just to say this one little thing. It's good how you gotta try to live right, man, because there's some people that will post things like, hey, I need a photographer, right? I see people do that all the time on Facebook, and it'll be people that I might not have even shot before, but they might know me. They know me, and maybe I shot a friend of them, and they'll tag me in there, and that just blessed my life, man, because it's just like, wow, to have people think well of you, something about a good name, and I don't take that lightly, man. So like I said, it's you could definitely hit me up with a Facebook message, and I'll definitely get back to you.
That might turn into a full-time job, man.
Hey, speak it, man. Speak it.
All right,
Big
Pete. So if anybody wants to get involved with the Black Lives Matter movement, your protest demonstrations, how can they contact you?
First of all, man, I'd like to say to Brother Corey, as long as I've been knowing of you, man, your name has always meant integrity.
Oh,
and
man.
That's a rarity. And I'm saying coming from me, not saying just because it's from me, but coming from me, because one thing that I do is I sit back and I watch brothers, I watch sisters, and integrity is a big part in my life, man. I'm serious. I might be choppy, my delivery might be whatever, but when I look and see integrity, man, that goes big time with me, man. And your name, brother, and your work and everything, man, because I've been watching with the youth stepping and doing all this stuff. That it's always been integrity, right? And if anybody wants to get in contact with Black Lives Matter, man, I'm on Facebook. I got a Black Lives Matter page, a group you can join. You know what I'm saying? And just learn and see what we're doing, because we're going to take it to the next level too. Oh, and as much as I don't like firearms, I just joined the Fred Hampton Gun Club, because I believe in unifying and making comrades and allies all across the country here in America, because I believe that brothers need to know who's with them and who's not, because at the end of the day, you know, we are living in the real world. So I'm just trying to build allies right now, and I'm also recruiting for Fred Hampton's Gun Club, because I believe that it's integrity. You know, they're teaching you survival skills, life skills, how to deal with firearms, how to you look at the program that they got, how to deal with anger. You know, don't, you know, rob this, don't steal that, don't hurt your brother, you know. And so these are the type of things that's in the Fred Hampton Gun Club, man. And I would like to see a lot of Black brothers start to join it.
All right, so for those who don't know Fred Hampton, who was he?
Oh, Fred Hampton was almost my favorite Black Panther, man, because Stokely Carmichael, man, that's my boy, right? But Fred Hampton, he running the close second, man. That's almost a tie between those two brothers. And he was a very articulated brother as far as breaking down the struggles of our people. And he was he was high in academics. A lot of people don't know, and he was an athlete. And he was a part of in fact, he was the leader of the Chicago Black Panther Party. And they shot and killed Fred with some trumped up charges from J. Edgar Hoover and all the rest of them boys. But Fred Hampton, man, was a very articulated young Black brother, died at, I believe, at the age of 21, who was trying to spread the good news about our people and trying to get us to stick together and stop killing one another. And that's what I really want to get in to these young brothers too, because if you want to start holding firearms and you want to do this and that, then come learn the right way. When you come this way, you're gonna get the Lord. You ain't getting around that, and then you're gonna get some discipline. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in tough love, because sometimes, like, bring the knucklehead my way. I believe that with the love of Christ and with the ingenuity I have in my mind, I believe that I can basically win them brothers over, because it's all about knowing how to fish.
I know that's right.
Real quick, Mahkeib, before we end, you talking about your sister Kayla. So when she had her funeral, during the funeral, after the funeral, I would imagine you probably got a lot of support from the community.
During and after the funeral?
Yeah. Your sister's funeral.
Oh yeah, at her funeral, it was packed, man. You know, it was over in small H Street anyway. But afterwards, man, everybody just went back to their normal lives, and I couldn't understand it, because, you know, I thought I was immortal. I thought she was immortal. I thought we would live forever. In fact, I thought I wasn't going to die till God came back. That was my actual thing. And then you hear that Biggie song, die together, live together, cry together, hope to God we die together. That was always in my mind. I thought that we would always just transition to the next thing. But afterwards, man, it was just like business as usual. And it made me kind of upset, because I thought she meant more to this world than people had showed. So, but I wasn't mad about it, but it just showed me that life is cold, cruel, and it don't care about who you are. Time don't matter. And I said, wow, life is just still going on. And that was my aftertake of that, though, man.
Right. Okay, Corey, you got a minute. Got a minute left. You want to say any closing comments?
Oh man, I just want to take my minute just to give a shout out to you, brother, man. I appreciate you using this platform, man. I feel honored, man. I'm seriously, man, that you would even, you know, reach out to somebody like myself. And I've been watching you, man. I really I'm really honored to be on this platform with you, man. I think God got some great things for you, man. Because look, you ain't letting COVID-19 stop you. You just took it. We ain't on the TV, but you took it to the internet, man. And so I just say, man, just keep on keeping on, brother, man. I pray that God blows your mind with your ministry, man, and keep on having you know, the guests to come on and just keep doing your thing, brother. I really
Yeah,
applaud
you know,
what you're doing, brother.
this is a lot of fun. You know, women have their talk shows. I said, you know what, God installed in me to have a talk show for the brothers.
That's right. That's right.
So you're gonna see men in here from different backgrounds and maybe have different ideologies, different age groups, but at the end of the day, we all brothers.
That's right. I respect it, man.
Okay, so I just thank the audience for watching this. I'll be back on 6 o'clock this Thursday, domestic violence, and next Tuesday, episode 9 of a conversation with men of color. Gentlemen, God bless, and thank you both for being guests, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right, man. God bless y'all.
Be blessed, y'all.